global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello guys, welcome to Global Happenings. Today we have a trending news for you, and the headline reads: Wole Soyinka advises Muhammad Buhari on what to do to curb the Biafran idea. See details. But before we go into the news proper and further analysis, we do like you to subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button below. Beside it, you will see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Okay, let's go straight into the news of the day. The Nobel laureate Professor Wole Soyinka has advised the government not to keep a close eye on the Biafran protests, saying Nigeria is indivisible. This won't happen under my watch. Nigeria's unity is non-negotiable, would not help matters. He's now referring to Muhammad Buhari's statement. So Soyinka added that the agitation did not come to him as a surprise. Furthermore, he defended his choice of President Muhammad Buhari as a better candidate in the last April polls. Speaking on Channels Television last night, Soyinka said agitation for Biafra will never go away, as Biafra is an idea even if the war had ended. He said, I remember I wrote an article during the war and I said at that time that Biafra cannot be defeated. People misunderstood what I was saying. I said once an idea has taken hold, you cannot destroy that idea. You may destroy the people that carry the idea on the battlefield, but ultimately it is not the end of the story. He said instead of the government issuing threats to Biafran agitators, it should rather go to Southeast and find out why they are agitating for another country and see what it could do to remedy the situation. He said the attitude of the government should be to sit down with those leading the renewed agitation and ask, what can we do to make the Igbo feel part of this country? What can we do to make them feel that they belong and not alienated? Go into that environment and ask, what are those things we can do to make you content, to make you feel part of this entity, to make you feel part of Nigeria? Listen to some other Biafrans and ask them why they want to stay. But don't go around saying the sovereignty of this country is indivisible. It is not negotiable. That type of language would only make matters worse, Soyinka said. He added that the agitation for Biafra has made it imperative for Nigerians to take yet another look at restructuring. That's restructuring Nigeria as a country. On Buhari's election, Soyinka said his preference for the president during electioneering was born out of his conviction that he was a better candidate. He said the situation in the country was such that he reckoned that another 4 years of Jonathan could be disastrous for the country. At that time, we had reached the bottom. I believed that if the country underwent another 4 years under Jonathan, we could be in trouble. I then looked at Buhari. I talked to people. They said he had changed. Okay. He said he had weighed his options, knowing that the negatives on Buhari were his excesses. I don't like people who just jail others. Very reluctantly, I weighed the options and was convinced that the country would be better under Buhari, he said. Well, Nigerians have taken to their social media handle to react to the fact that he felt Buhari was a better candidate for Nigeria compared to compared to Jonathan, Ebele Goodluck Jonathan said then. And he also has reacted to the fact that Buhari needs to go beyond the Nigeria is indivisible. Nigeria is Nigerian's entity as a sovereign nation is non-negotiable and all that. He needs to come out of his high walls and go straight to the Southeasterners, go straight to Southeastern environment and ask questions. They should negotiate with the agitators and find out why the idea of Biafra cannot die despite the civil war that took place, despite the fact that the battlefield, a lot of Biafrans were slaughtered and victory, technically, they will say no victor, no vanquish, but as it is, they feel annihilated, they feel marginalized. Is there any way they can make them, feel once again that they are part of Nigeria and not, begin to spread the idea of Biafra, because the agitation is growing stronger. No one can deny that effect and no one can deny that fact. Well, let's feel the pulse of Nigerians all over and find out if this is the time that Soyinka is waking up, like some of them will say, good morning, Wole Soyinka. But let's feel the pulse of Nigerians on this one. This one here is a Prof, it has gone cross river Rubicon. That is point of no return. The East out of your marginalization conspiracy with the North against her opted for Biafra. If Britain could exist EU, why shouldn't the Biafrans exist? Nigeria, Igbos are this, Igbos are that, all in the negative. Why not allow them peacefully go their way? Why bother about their remaining with you? It's very obvious and undoubtedly that no Igbo, no Nigeria. If not, let them go. Igbo is the salt in Nigeria. That is if removed, nothing Nigerianism any longer. Well, okay, this one here is saying the Nobel just said his mind. Psychologically, you guys shouldn't expect him to pick bows and arrows and fight for you. I'm a Yoruba man who loves Igbo raids and wants them to have their freedom at all costs. However, meaningful ideas and thoughts should be welcome. No revolution, no resolution, but solution shouldn't be sought when precaution is available. JB. This one here is saying, good talk, Prof. Even the housewife is not in the house because her bride price was paid, but because she loves her husband and cares for her. Show her through your attitude that she's not part of you and she goes. Okay, that's more like an adage. This one here is saying, Prof, good morning, sir. How was your night? Okay. Guess you had a good dream. Don't go back to sleep, oh, it's already morning. Okay. The usual Biafran way. This one here says, Yoruba are not Biafra problem, but the Fulanis. This one here says, Yorubas are gold diggers, they are saboteurs. This one here says, I hope you are now convinced that there's no way Biafra can be wished away. It will happen one day, because to live together as slave and master is never the best for the slave. Every man wants to be free. Forced relationships always end in chaos. This one here says, you are an evil to this generation. It's too late. This one here is saying, too late for you, daddy. What will be, will be. We want our freedom. It's not by force to be one Nigeria. This one here is saying, if Igbos are the problem of Nigeria as said by the North and West, then let them go have Biafra. This one here is saying, Nigeria have corrupt leaders. Let Biafra go. This one here is saying, Biafra is a child of conspiracy by the North and the West. Biafra waited patiently to see some change, but Fashola and Buhari continued the regional economic strangulations, and suddenly the UN compromising Nnamdi Kanu came to the scene, and it is now too late. Just Biafran nation solves these questions, and they will no longer be the problems of the North and the West. This one here is saying, what is written, sir. You can kill the body, but you can kill the body, but you can't kill the soul and the spirit. We Igbo people are tired of Nigeria. We want to go. Simple. By the grace of God, Biafran people must definitely go. It's just a matter of time. This one here is saying, sir, you have said it all. Idea never dies. And I want to add that peace without justice is like a time bomb waiting to explode. Strong. This one here is saying, sir, just advise Nigeria to leave us, to go. We need to go to our dear country, Biafra. This one here say, we are a people who choose to hunger a little to remain alive instead of feeding fat to become respectable corpses. Strong. This one here is saying, and now are we better? Yes, we want our freedom. It's not by force to be one Nigeria at all. That's what we want. This one here is saying, after you people have drained them of every hope of surviving with you in your country, talking to Soyinka, I guess. This one here said, are you sure this is Wole Soyinka? I don't believe my ears and eyes. What are they going to find out While the Southeast are crying for Biafra. So, sir, you are not even seeing the lopsided appointment of this present administration, Abi. I don't know. This one here say rubbish. Just because he learned English doesn't give this guy the right to insult us. I respect people who read Swahili or Yoruba better than this white man's Uncle Tom. He dresses like a white man, but white people don't dress like Yorubas. Inferiority complex. That's a bit on a personal note. This one here is saying Wole Soyinka. This is a bit insultive. I would rather not read that. This one here is saying if Hausa Fulani are in the positives, Yoruba Yaribas are in the positives, and the Igbos are the only one in the negatives, it will be justified to allow the negative to leave the positives, so that the positives can get along properly. Please, the Biafran should be allowed to go. Marriage is not by force. This one here is saying it's too late now. Let Biafra go. Period. This one here is saying if Igbos are the problem of Nigeria because they are looking for Biafra, leave them to go to so that Nigeria can be free of herself. Oh God, so much. They're all saying the same thing. This one here is saying, Prof, where were you when the Nigerian government seized Biafra money and started giving them £20? Secondly, the Nigerian doesn't see anything good in the Igbo man. Then they know very well that Igbo man believe in import and export. Then they recruit both illiterate and cabals at our seaport and airport just to make us feel bad. How many Igbo man is in charge of any custom post or seaport or airport, even the mighty name of NNPC? But you are talking about one Nigeria. No going back. Biafra we want. Honestly, if you continue like this practically the same. They're all saying the same thing, that they want Biafra, Biafra, Biafra. You've heard the voices of the people. You have felt the pulse of the people online, the responses to what Professor Wole Soyinka says. I don't know if is there still any need really for the presidency to go to southeastern region or even south to fill their pulse. They have already spoken that already the idea has taken root and it's too late. They want their nation, Biafra. They should let them go. Well, that's the news, and that's what people are saying. What do you think? Do you still think that there's any hope for negotiation? Well, for me, I think these guys, their mind are made up. Instead, just think of a way to let this whole thing go. But then the presidency is saying that Nigeria is an indivisible state. It's not negotiable, that Nigeria can't be divided. And Soyinka is just telling them, look, that's not the way to go about it. Can't keep saying that this idea will not be wished away. This idea cannot die. Even if you like, slaughter the people who are carrying the idea will still remain to the next generation. Find a way around it. Reach out to the people. Go to southeastern state. Go to the environment. South. Go to the environment. Reach out to the people. Find out how they will feel, love. Don't forget that fairly recently, the really reason why Bajamela, that's the rep, House of Rep, did not approve the $22.7 billion that they were supposed to collect as a loan was simply because the eastern region, the whole of the southeastern region, were not inclusive. And here you are telling them to be, they should find a way of including them. That one is even the national money. And they are saying they should not be allowed in that. Of all projects taken, no project was coming from southeastern zone. Look, action speaks far louder than words. It speaks far louder than voice. So I don't know what Professor Wole Soyinka is saying.